Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah. Koholoyim La Yahweh. Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Bahashim Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who were well. That by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Akhwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai to the best of their ability. This is Yah Hanan Nawah. I'm just coming at you with another quick lesson. I'm praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And just hitting the record button, seeing where the Spirit leads. Was just watching a couple of videos. Matter of fact, two elders from New York. The one elder, he was going off into these other nations, thinking that they're gonna, get some type of pass when it comes to Jacob's trouble. And they have no idea that, they're gonna get their asses tore up too. See, they look down upon us right now, and they wag their head, they shake their head, look at these niggas, look at these, and they come to our neighborhoods, they set up shop, they're able to come into the country and get a business loan, set up shop in our community, make a damn killing, live in mansions and all kinds of shit. They're able to live amongst Esau if they choose, or their own communities if they choose, and then they look at us as if we're not shit, But they don't understand that we are under the curses. That's the reason why they're able to do what they're able to do, because that's a part of the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28. And we always say, hey, to you new believers, hey, read through them curses. To any of you people that just may be hearing about this particular doctrine or truth, read through the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and see what nation of people that fits. See who fits that best. See if it's the so-called white man, or see if it's those people or the so-called white people that's over there in Israel. See if it fits them. See if it fits the so-called Chinese or Japanese, or no, those curses fit us like a glove, man, to the T. And we're under those curses for a reason, because, of our disobedience to our Father, Yahweh. That's the true name of the Father. Yahweh, which means he exists, or the existing one. And the true name of his son is Yahweh Shai, which means that he's the savior or deliverer in the Paleo-Hebrew. And as you can see, like I'm riding through one of these neighborhoods right now, like Ishmael, they living it up. They living it up. Like seriously living it up, man. They riding, Bugattis and fucking, Rolls Royce SUVs. They women don't work. Women definitely don't work, but they own a lot of gas stations. They own a lot of supermarkets. They own a lot of, just a lot of shit in Jake's hood. Whatever Jake need, I'm gonna tell you now, Ishmael, and where I live, Ishmael has taken a straight foothold in our neighborhoods. They own the major shit that we really have to get to survive. Then you have, on top of that, you got, Moab. He comes in, you know what I'm saying? They have, a lot of the beauty supply shops, and, I'm not even sure if niggas still eating Chinese food, but generally they will have a Chinese food restaurant, and then you'll have, all the nations are in the neighborhood, they just getting it. But you'll have Esau. See, Esau, he's the top. He's the one with the big corporation type of businesses in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? He's getting it in on everybody. But he's the one with the McDonald's, or if you really have to do, you going to get banking. He's the one with the Wendy's, the Burger Kings, the Chick-fil-A's, or whatever the fuck. So they're the main ones that's sucking on Jake. But the crumbs, you know what I'm saying? That's the rest of these other nations coming into the neighborhoods, man, and just sucking you dry, calling you brother, trying to talk to you. I mean, they really don't have no choice, you know what I'm saying? They really don't want to get out of pocket anyway like that, but but a lot of our people, they believe that these people actually are genuine to us, and they're not. I know it, even though, I say what's up to them, I'm cool with a lot of them, you know what I'm saying? Might be able to even walk out of a store with something and tell them I'll bring you, whatever I owe you back with some of them, maybe, but overall, I understand that once they leave that store, the motherfuckers don't give a shit about them, and they're not going to look out for you, other than, you just being there. They just doing what they do. A lot of them, they don't even acknowledge you. Motherfuckers don't say hi, bye, won't, just snatch your damn money, throw your damn change, you know. So, but the elder was going off into how they're gonna have to go through some shit too. You here in these Americas and you don't look like one of these fucking Edomites, and even you Edomites gonna get it. It's gonna be Edomites on Edomites. You know what I'm saying? The Egyptian against the Egyptian at Isaiah 19 and 2. So they're gonna be fighting against each other. So you know, you other people that's in these neighborhoods. Cause see, you got you have a lot. You'll have another nation that's in some of these white people neighborhoods. These you know, lower class, you know, these trailer trash that they just believe that because of their skin colors they're so, you know, inferior, but actually they're doing worse than Jake. And you'll have a lot of these other nations in their neighborhoods selling them a bunch of bullshit. When they pull up to a damn gas station, when they pull up to, you know, certain businesses that they need, you know, to get services from, it'll be someone from a whole nother country, don't even fucking speak English well. And so these Edomites, you know, they see that, and then, you know, like the elder was going into, they see that, and they're pissed because they like, well, shit, this is my fucking country. Why can't I do that? You know? And really it's because, you know, you Edomites are not as smart as you claim to be. You're not smart like that, man. You know what I'm saying? The shit that you mainly have is you took by force. That's your whole thing throughout the planet. And then once you know you take these things by force, you lower class ones that don't have no education, you motherfuckers can't read, you can't write, you can't do math. You be surprised, man. These people dumb as hell. And then you're just left on the back burner, and these ones that's done stolen, you know, your upper elite of your people, they don't give a shit about you, but they've given you this thing of color that you know, you look like a glass of fucking milk now all of a sudden, and that you're superior to anybody that, you know, that looks darker than you. And that's not the case. But you living out of a fucking trailer, you know what I'm saying? You know, matter of fact, down in Alabama and Georgia right now with those fires down there, burning through those thin ass trailers y'all in. I was looking at that on the news yesterday. And these curses really are starting to be reversed against you Edomites, man. These Edomites going through it. So when all hell break loose, you know, they already wild as hell. Esau's a wild bunch, man. And to go along with the rest of these nations, man, I be seeing them. I work with these people. You know? They walk around with their, you know what I'm saying, with their little laptops and shit, and, you know, they act as if they're just so fucking smart. But you'll chop up a damn dog and eat it. Like, where's the smarts in that shit? Scripture says to not eat anything with paws. You motherfuckers are cut up a damn dog. You got dog. These Moabites, they got dog farms where they literally, you know, you can go to a market just like you going to buy some fucking ground chunk, or you going to buy some, you know, and you can pick out a damn dog and they'll go ahead and cut his ass on up for you, and you know, you don't even have sense enough to not eat something like that, but yet you in our neighborhoods wagging your fucking head at us like we're just pieces of shit. And the elder went into that lesson beautifully, man. You know what I'm saying? Bringing up all the scriptures on it, and see, you nations are gonna have to pay. I think he entitled it Jacob's trouble is all y'all's trouble, or something like that. You know, I can tell, you know, I can hear the seriousness in the elder's voice, because, you know, Jake, you know, we're tired, man. You know, they worn out the saints. Man, stay your ass right there, bro. Wait your turn. Yeah, man, but Jake tired, man. Jake, shit, we tired of you motherfuckers, man. Are women looking, you know, on our ass? You motherfuckers is on our ass. Come on, man, what y'all doing, bro? I always drive through here. I don't know why. I know the construction be going on, but I still come my ass through here. Anyway. Well, see, these right here, you know, some hard-working little Edomites right there, you know. And they looking like, you know, shit, how the fuck these motherfuckers come into our neighborhoods and they able to own a business? Motherfuckers ain't ever going to clock in nowhere. I'm talking about, it's people here that have never in their life have worked a job, bro. They've never clocked in for anyone. Now you got some of these, these newer, I say, well, you got them Indians, them fucking East Indians. They kind of, they big on tech shit. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of got some smarts when it comes to tech. Because when you really think about it, these people don't have no physical. Esau, he got a little bit of physicality to him. You know what I'm saying? But and a lot of them are goofy as hell. But some of them do got some physicality to them. But you don't really see a lot of these, like Moab, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're watching the Olympics, you might see they're pretty decent at, like diving, they'll play the shit out of some fucking ping pong or some shit like that. But when it comes to a sport that's as rough as like the NFL, I've never even heard of a Chinese NFL player. It could be one or two, could be a sprinkle here and there. But you don't be hearing about Japan or Japanese or any of these East Indians. You know what I'm saying? If anything, if they're claiming that heritage, they're generally Jake. They're generally an Israelite, looking a foreign looking Israelite basically, because they don't have it like that. You know what I'm saying? That's how we know that it's the Lord, the power and strength of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. He's the one that placed us into this situation, this captivity that we've been in for this time period that we've been in it. The Lord done that. Because when you think about it physically, Jake, man, I've seen videos just, you'll have one young Jake, man. I've seen videos with Jake whooping on 7, 8, 9, 10 white boys' asses, man, like it's nothing. Just wailing on their asses, man. None of them can't take him down. They can't handle him. You know what I'm saying? So these little frail ass Moabites walking around, and they walk about invisible as a motherfucker too. But through the spirit, I pay attention to them. I be looking at them. I see how they move. They move silently through the building, man. And then, in our cafeteria, they'll all group up together. It's like 10 or 15 of them. They all group up together. They sitting there eating with motherfucking chopsticks right here in America. Eating with chopsticks, speaking in Chinese or Mandarin or whatever they speak. And nobody be saying nothing to these, nobody thinking about that shit. But let Jake speak some fucking Spanish, which Jake learned that shit from these so-called white people, because they wouldn't know no damn Spanish had they not been conquered or kidnapped and all this other shit. But them people, man, they sit in there, they be talking loud as hell in their language, and nobody, it's regular shit. It's nobody. But see, what the elder was going into is they're gonna be subject to ass whoopings when shit hit the fans, though. They're gonna be all that invisible shit, you just being able to slide under the radar, get your money, and do all these different things. Nah, that shit is not gonna fly. It's like these Indians, these East Indians, you know what I'm saying? Because, they got darker skin, too. Some of them way fucking darker than me. Or any of us, actually. Shit, there's some real dark skin fuck, but they don't call them black, And they're, all of them, they're gonna get that bit. If you don't look like the typical Edomite, you don't look like, you know what I'm saying, one of them, caveman level Edomites, you know what I'm saying, where they, they got a beard on their face, just that Edomite look. You don't look like one of them people. When Jacob's trouble really, really set in, that's why a lot of these other nations, they getting the fuck out of here. Matter of fact, China, I think it was yesterday, they just had an advisory to, the Chinese, their citizens, to not travel here to the Americas. And basically to not go to certain airports. So say, if one of these so-called Chinese people are trying to get out of here, they may not, say they live in New York. They may not even fly out of New York. They may get into a rental car and go to a whole nother state where they can pretty much go under the radar, use their passport, and go ahead and get the fuck up out of here. Because certain, airports, they'll pull them to the side, get the, asking them a bunch of damn questions in an interrogation room, all that little stuff like that. So it's a lot of that going on right now. So it's starting to really happen. But for the longest, though, they've been able to just run, just go under the radar and not be detected. They just get their money. I'm talking about living, though. I'm talking about living. But now when you go back to when Pearl Harbor went down and you had the Japanese, anybody that looked like they were so-called Japanese, if they had them slanted fucking eyes, them niggas went into some concentration camps at that time. But guess what? America gave them reparations, right? But when it comes to you, Jake, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they ain't giving you a motherfucking thing. They ain't giving you nothing, man. But I was watching a short from one of the elders yesterday saying that you so-called white people, you nations are our reparations. And that's a beautiful statement because they are. We don't need your little fake ass paper money and shit, you know, with your little strip in it to make it look authentic. Now that shit, all that's gonna be burnt with fervent heat. We gonna be back on that gold. We gonna be on that silver gold. We gonna be on that gold silver standard in our kingdom. Ain't gonna be none of this you know Esau out here with this fucking paper that don't mean nothing and has no fucking value at all. You know, just damn Edomite right there. Foot on the gas. But yeah, man, we living in the last of this thing, man. So, you know, walk circumspectly. Not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the times because the days are evil, like the scripture says. Pray without ceasing. And, you know, just keep your head on a swivel, man, because things are changing. There's a lot going on in the planet, and people not paying attention. You know, it's getting warmer out, so they just out and about, you know what I'm saying? Just want to, you know, as high as this fucking gas is, motherfuckers still want to just jump in their damn car and go joyriding and shit. But anyway, I'm going to end out there. I'm pretty much at my destination. Just wanted to hit the record button. With that, pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Yashala and the Baba Ball.